The admissions office at HLGU is recruiting high school students virtually. Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of Newsbeat. I'm Cami Tyler. We'll get to that story in just a minute, but first, Hannibal LaGrange University recently announced that they will extend their mask wearing policy for the entire fall semester. The university is requiring masks for students, employees, and guests in public spaces. As Alex Shipley tells us, while the policy is important during COVID-19, it does create a challenge for students who are hearing impaired. Here's more on that story.
These are the sounds of dinner at the Allens. But for 3 of the 5 Allen siblings, this is what it would sound like without their cochlear implants. For siblings like Leighton, Evan, and Bethany Allen, their everyday world looks and sounds a little different. But through their deafness, the trio has formed a unique kind of bond.
We really have an understanding, I think, that most siblings do not have.
Understand my struggles, I understand their struggles, and we help each other through them.
We're like the Three Musketeers. We're the OGs, the original group.
2 of the Allen siblings are attending Hannibal LaGrange University, but here at HLGU, they've implemented a mask mandate, making learning more of a challenge for the brothers.
Masks obviously have made it a whole lot more difficult.
It does not allow me to lip read whenever I'm trying to listen to professors and my peers and my friends. It makes it really hard for me to understand them.
Masks, have kind of taken that away from me, so now I got to work around that.
So most of the time I find, asking them to repeat themselves multiple times, or even if it's just us taking their mask off and things like that.
But Hannibal LaGrange University is working to accommodate students with hearing impairments.
Being at the university, because of my experience, I wanted us to be very sensitive about the needs of our students. So we've tried to accommodate our students who may have an hearing impairment.
They have to be their own best personal advocate to help communicate with professors and teachers and friends.
What we ended up doing was getting a microphone for the professor to wear, and then Evan can fine-tune it for when he needs to be able to hear.
For Bethany, a student of California Baptist University, she's back at home and learning remotely. But in the world of online learning, masks aren't the only obstacle in her education.
It's been really difficult, especially with Zoom University, because there's always interference or glitches, or you get kicked off because of Wi-Fi or whatever. And it's always a challenge with that, and sometimes it's kind of hard because I try to lip read. Have you tried doing that? Lip reading a video of somebody is really hard and difficult.
In Hannibal, I'm Alex Shipley, reporting for Newsbeat.
In other news, the Hannibal LaGrange admissions office is changing up some of the ways that they recruit high school students. With many in-person college fairs being canceled, HLGU plans to use virtual college fairs as a way to reach out to high school juniors and seniors. Here's more on that story. New times call for new recruiting efforts at Hannibal LaGrange University, and for seasoned admissions counselors at HLGU, COVID-19 means that they're having to change the way they recruit high school students on a daily basis.
There were fairs that I could go to. I could walk into a school building and talk with a student without having a barrier of a screen or even a mask or 6 feet.
Enrollment counselors across the country are learning new skills and developing new strategies to keep up and keep students safe. Admissions counselor Michaela Clamon is approaching her 4th year in this field. Clamon says the pandemic has changed her job significantly since her start at HLGU in 2017.
We're seeing a shift in our hours, we're seeing a shift in the way we communicate, we're seeing a shift in a lot of things.
This means less face-to-face and more innovative approaches to virtual gatherings.
But what it's really done is forced us to just be creative. Like tomorrow from 2 to 3, I'll be at this Starbucks. Come by and see me. Well, we can't do that, so what if we just said, hey, from 2 to 3 tomorrow, here's a Zoom link, I'll be hanging out, drop in and see me if you want to, and let's talk.
Vice President of Enrollment Management and Marketing Will Brantley says it's part of their job to constantly evaluate what they do and make it better, especially in times like today.
You have to be really flexible in admissions. Even pre-COVID, you had to be really flexible. This just reinforced that to go, listen, we don't know from one day to the next what's going to happen and how life's going to change.
And as colleges and universities adjust to a virtual world, that also means that high school students will have to adapt as well. For Palmyra High School senior Bennett Stice, this means brushing up on some traditional and virtual communication skills.
I expected it to be like more face-to-face, talking to somebody, but it's just learning how to write emails better, learning how to talk to people over virtual avenues better.
Angela Kepner, Palmyra High School's counselor, has found changes in her job as well.
A lot more things are online, virtual this year, so I'm working hard to provide those resources and be the link between the colleges, different agencies, and then getting that information to parents and students.
HLGU does still plan to host Trojan Day on October 16th. This is a visit day where high school students can visit campus and talk with faculty members and coaches. Space is limited and you can register for that event by going to HLGU's website, which is hlg.edu. Real Encounter Outreach was on campus recently during HLGU's Spiritual Emphasis Days. Real Encounter is a ministry of professional athletes using extreme sports as a way to share the gospel. The event included a 2-day chapel service on Wednesday and Thursday in the Roland Fine Arts Center. A special Wednesday evening event was also held in the parking lot of the RFAC. Real Encounter has performed on the hit TV show America's Got Talent. The ministry is made of professional athletes and ministers in the area of moto stunting, street bike stunting, and BMX bike stunt teams. HLGU welcomes a new addition to the athletic training staff. Kaylee O'Laughlin is originally from New London, Missouri. She graduated from Truman State in 2019 with a Bachelor of Science degree in athletic training. O'Laughlin says she is excited for her new role with student athletes.
What I love most about athletic training is being able to be with the athlete from start to finish as soon as the injury happens, and then we can be with them through the whole rehab process, and then getting to see them return to play is just really awesome.
O'Laughlin also says she loves the environment and the Christ-centered atmosphere that HLGU offers. O'Laughlin will serve as the assistant athletic trainer. She will be working under the head athletic trainer, Josh Miley. In the music department, Jason Lachkuski joined HLGU's faculty as the new assistant professor of music. Lachkuski has a Bachelor of Arts in saxophone from Mansfield University in Pennsylvania. He has a master's from the University of Iowa and has nearly completed his doctorate from the University of Iowa. Lachkuski says he loves the Christian atmosphere at HLGU.
Is all of the Jesus talk, all of the praying, opening up a faculty meeting with prayer has been really awesome and completely different.
Before coming to HLGU, Lachkuski taught for 5 years at public universities. He says the Christian environment is different from the other universities, but it's something that he could get used to. Lachkuski will teach instrumental music and direct the concert band. And finally, we leave you with a story about the sights and sounds of the Mark Twain High School Marching Band. Like so many marching bands in the area, the Tigers are having to adjust their marching schedule due to COVID-19. With more on that, here's Emma Anderson.
Things here at the Mark Twain football field are quiet for right now, but the award-winning Mark Twain Marching Band is working hard this season for field competitions. Even though some of their major events have been canceled due to COVID-19, they are ready to compete at local shows and home football games.
1, 2, 3, sport.
The band is back together at Mark Twain High School.
That was fantastic. Do it again.
But COVID-19 has rewritten some of the music for the Tigers 2020 band season. In the spring, the Tigers had 8 events on their schedule. Now, they have 3.
March was terrible because within the span of about 5 minutes, we lost our indoor guard season, we lost 2 concert festivals, one of them our state assessment, we lost the spring concert, we lost everything.
That's Mark Twain's band director, Doug Schaefer. He experienced firsthand the impact COVID-19 is having on many schools.
You take a step back, you realize COVID has had a huge impact. It stretched out the season, we're doing less. We're hoping that come January, we can be like, okay, boom, real marching season, hit the ground running.
For the students, even though marching season has been reduced to just a few performances, they are ready to make those performances count.
We haven't really had to change anything, just mostly get rid of stuff. It's disappointing, but at this point it was expected.
The Tigers were scheduled to attend the Bands of America Grand National Championships in November. With that canceled, the Tigers are now preparing for local shows and the Winter Guard International Championship in April.
We just want to perform. We've lost so many chances, and the kids are just latched on right now to just the hope of performing.
Even though the Tigers' schedule has been cut short, their attitude and work ethic has not missed a beat.
It might affect the competitions and stuff, but I don't think it's going to affect us personally. We're all here ready to work.
The competitive spirit is still strong. Despite many unknowns, the Tigers are marching on.
Just because the rehearsals are fewer and the shows are fewer, we're not phoning this year in. If you just see the snapshot, you don't notice the difference because my kids are here to work.
In Central Missouri,
1 and ready and.
reporting for Newsbeat,
Much better rep.
I'm Emma Anderson.
Good job. Let's move on.
The director of the Mark Twain Marching Tigers is Doug Schaefer. Mr. Schaefer is also an adjunct instructor here at HLGU. We want to wish the Tigers good luck as they get ready to compete in their first competition on September 26th in Wright City. Well, that's all the time that we have for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Cami Tyler.